Hello.
Hello.
Well, hi. Welcome to a new episode of Beyond Tech Podcast. I am Wissam Mustafa, and today we have a very special guest. Welcome, Kamran, to at the first episode of having you here in Beyond Tech.
Thank you
Very
for having
glad
me.
that you are here. Yeah.
Good to be here.
Thank you so much. Like for people who don't know Kamran, Kamran is not only the most followed voice in our community, one of the most followed voices in our community, but he's also a Google developer expert, and he was contributing massively in GitHub and in open source. And he's a GitHub Star who have helped shaping learning journeys of millions of developers around the world. So uh, I like to start with you, Cameron, telling people and telling the audience about your journey in software, when you started, and the growth during your career until you reached the moment where you decided to, okay, I'll establish Roadmap.sh.
Sure. Okay, so I am Kamran. I'm the founder of Roadmap.sh. I have over 15 years of experience in the industry. Most of it has been with startups. I have been founding engineer at multiple startups. One was called Al Musafir, which I was employee number 10 at that time, and I saw it grow from that many, like 10, 20 people, to almost 1,000 people. The tech team was almost like 150, 100 plus at that time. I also was a founding engineer at Tradelink.com, which was a B2B commerce platform in Dubai as well. I was employee number 3. And when I left them, we had
Nice.
millions of products, and it was a B2B commerce platform. We had millions of products, hundreds of thousands of sellers on that platform. And we were 200 plus people in the company. And I was leading the tech team of 13 people. Tech team was almost like 65. 8 years I have spent 8 years in Dubai, almost year and a half, 2 years in Germany. Right now I'm based in UK. Right now I'm working full time on Roadmap.sh, but before that it was a side project. I built this when I was early in my career, actually in 2017. So I started my official career in the industry at 2000, 2014, 2013. 17 is when I built the platform, and it was a side project from 2017 till 22. In 22, I decided to leave my job and go full time on this, and since then, I've been pulling full time working on Roadmap. Over the years, I have worn several different hats. I always had this entrepreneurial drive. I wanted to build my own things. I started as a backend developer. I am a backend developer. I think that I mean, at my heart, I'm still a backend developer, but I taught myself front end design, DevOps, all these things because I wanted to build things on my own, not being able to rely on other people. And that's what I mean helped me make Roadmap and all the other projects that you see on GitHub and all the different places.
Yeah, that's amazing. Actually, like the most known product is roadmap.sh, but I saw today that you have like four other products or something like that. I didn't hear about them, but it's a good opportunity to also to like highlight these products for people that don't know about them like me. So, I mean, let's start because like these days it's AI days, you know, it's AI era actually. Everything is being affected by AI. Everyone is speaking about AI. So, how is AI affecting the development of Roadmap SH, and what role do you see it playing in the broader field of software engineering?
So, I mean, if I talk about Roadmap, if I talk about me personally, one thing that it has helped me be more is productive. So I use it heavily. In some cases, I use it more than the others. For example, the thing that I use it a lot is, for example, the development. In development, the things when I'm writing throwaway code, for example, there's some one-time migration that I need to write for the data, I would use AI. If there is some dummy report that I need to generate to look at the data, I would use AI for that. Before I did not, I mean, I used to automate a lot of things, but in some cases, when there was like one-off task, and I think there's no value in automating that, I would not automate it. Now, my first instinct is how can I automate this with the AI and do it even more faster than the manual work? So I started to do automation more. I use it in the design. It is not as good at design, but it is quite good when you build the base and then you ask it to follow the same guidelines that you have followed in the design and build something else. For example, if I talk about so we launched courses recently, our first course on Roadmap about the SQL.
Nice,
Uh,
nice.
so what I did was I made the header section of the page by myself, and then I said keep the same design and layout in mind. Design me the buy button. Okay, this is now good. Now for add the next section, which is the table of content. Now, this way, so I made it follow the previous design. I made some improvements, asked it to follow the same instructions next time, and keep on designing the full page. So I'm designing it also a lot I'm using it a lot in the designing phases as well of the development. Prototyping has become much faster. So when I have some like rough idea that comes in my mind, I don't have to think a lot about planning and so on, because this is just for testing. I would just use Cursor, for example, or AI to spin up the basic prototype and see how it is working. Do we need to pursue it further or not? So there is that as well. Also, community side, for example, on GitHub, there was a time like 2 3 months ago we had almost 1,000 issues open because we were so busy with the other stuff, and daily we get like 10
Okay.
20 issues on GitHub. So I used it. So I wrote some scripts to categorize all the issues and come up with all the important ones, close all the spam issues from that. It helped us bring the issue count from 1,000 to zero. So there is that. Also in the pull request, sometimes like I have local scripts that bring in the changes and then verify if it is following the the contribution guidelines and so on. So I use it in there also. So that is from the development side. On the learning side also, I use it. For example, recently I was building a small script with Rust, just to see like how Rust is, to get a taste of it.
Okay.
So I use it for running as well. So for example, I would just write some code in the format that I'm familiar with, either in Go or Node.js. But this might be different from the way you do things in Rust. So I would say now do it as per the Rust style. Give me feedback on what did I do well, what was wrong, how can I improve it, and so on. So I would get the feedback from AI to improve it and learn it with the help of AI. Other than that, writing emails also, like for example, when I'm writing an email, I would write the bullet points and say use my writing style. So I would have some ChatGPT, for example, have some previous. So I would give it some writing styles that I have on my previous email, like 4 or 5 emails, and I would say use my writing style and give me the email with these bullet points. So it would write for me. So a lot of different things. So some I use more, some I use less. Business logic, I don't use it as much. The AI side, business logic, I might write myself, but the repetitive task where I can just like where I don't need it to think too much, I just give it say to it and say like do this, 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 and that's it. Uh,
S-
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you so much for this like comprehensive explanation. I mean, so I mean, I see all that, okay, but I mean, me and you, we worked in times where AI wasn't involved in everything. Like we were hearing about AI throughout our career, and boom, once said ChatGPT became available, everyone went crazy. Like, oh, how to use it? I need to use it. XYZ. But now, with AI rapidly advancing, okay, what skills do you think software engineers should focus on to remain relevant? And is there a shift from the traditional coding mindset to something more design architecture oriented? Like we used to code. Now coding becomes the easiest part of the whole,
yeah,
problem. So, but still, I mean, we went gradually, let's say from zero to our current experiences.
yeah.
But for others, they will like, let's say that I'm in college and I'm about to graduate. What should I learn? Which skills I should master before going to the market? Because I mean, I will go to the market, and if I'm keeping studying with the old style, I will lose a lot of competition with other people who are already using AI.
Okay, so I have a different kind of opinion on this. So,
Okay.
first thing, I mean, the belief that I have that AI is not going to replace developers. I mean, a lot of people are hyping. All the CEOs of the big companies keep saying that developers will be gone. Don't learn computer science. You should be like getting other jobs and this and that and so on. I don't think this is going to be true. Developers will be there. The demand will be there. The only thing that is going to be impacted would be, for example, the number of jobs will go down, or there will be different kinds of jobs and so on. Uh, how it would change? So, how to prepare ourselves? For example, if someone is studying right now, and the immediate thing in the short term you can do is learn to use LLMs. For example, Cursor or Copilot or ChatGPT, and see how to use this for coding, or how you can improve your development with that. So this is a short term. Long term, I think there are multiple different things that you should be good at. The first thing could be, for example, you have to make sure that uh, you have you're not specialized in one item. So grow your T-shaped skills. So be good at coding. The future would be uh, like you would need all-rounded engineers. You would not need, for example, a specialized backend developer or specialized front-end developer who could just do one thing, because coding would become even more easier with even the more advanced LLMs, for example, or as AI advances. So you need to be good at, for example, a lot of different things. You need to be good at with interacting with people, for example. You need to be good at, for example, the you also need to be good at coding as well. I mean, people think that coding is going to be replaced, but you should be good at coding. If you talk about the early like 80s or 90s, for example, they used to be assembly code or machine code, right? Byte code or whatever.
Yes.
So you were really dealing with low level code. Over time, what happened was like more advanced languages came, for example, C++ came or C came, then you were writing on the higher level. The coding became black boxed, right? So you were
Yeah.
dealing with a higher level language. But as we are like as things are progressing, in the end, I mean, LLMs and all these AI is still producing the same code that we are writing. So you still need to be good at coding. You can't just be uh, like treating it as a bad box. Like now there's a like common term on Twitter and here and there, vibe coding. Like accept whatever is AI generating for you, and I just build the project. This is not the right way, and I think this is hurting many juniors more than helping. Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
people think that, I mean, they are like develop for them. If someone is a junior and you're using AI heavily, I think it is impacting your career because you're not understanding what you are coding, which means that if you don't have access to AI, you can't do the same thing. You can't review AI generated code properly. If it has issues, you can't solve it properly, and so on. There was a post that I saw recently on Reddit on a cursor on cursor subreddit. It said that uh, I have been building this project for the past 3 months. At the moment, I don't know what is written in the code, and even Cursor is not able to figure out. So there was a meme that when I wrote this code, only Cursor and I knew. Then only Cursor knew. Now none of us know.
No.
So,
Yeah. No one knows.
so if you keep relying on AI, I mean, the AI has a short-term memory. As you grow, your code becomes even more bigger and complicated. You are not easily able to identify like what's going on. So you still need to be good at coding. So don't leave coding. Keep understanding, keep learning about the code and everything. I have some tips for this also that I give everyone that is a beginner. The one thing that I do myself as well is like when you're solving something, think of it as like what do you want to achieve? Either it is to get this thing done, or is it to learn something? If the goal is to learning, turn off AI and try to do it yourself. If you get stuck, get help from AI or from Google or wherever you want to do it from. Get the help and then keep on learning. If the goal is to get it done, it doesn't matter. Just keep on doing it with the help of AI or without the help of AI. It doesn't matter. One thing that has helped me is bind a global shortcut on Cursor, for example, so I can switch off the AI assistance on the shortcut. So if I need to learn it and make sure that I am learning, I turn off AI and I don't look at it as well and just code myself. To do the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you. I totally agree with you. That's amazing mindset. I mean, I do the same thing. Like, this is a good pattern to distinguish between things that you need to use AI in and things that you don't. Because I mean, if you are like using AI for everything, even if you are learning, it's like you are cheating. You are deceiving yourself. You know what I mean? Like it's like, yeah, you need to have this mindset and think about every action you do because it will reflect back on your experience. Like right now I also think I was thinking about like how AI would impact like interviewing process in all companies, and I asked this question to multiple guests actually. The thing that was common that we need to be more abstract. We still need problem solving, we still need critical thinking, but we also need to be abstract. Like you have to solve one problem, you have to find the right problem to solve it, otherwise we are doing nothing. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people agreed that the process, the hiring process would be the same actually, like or similar, because at the end of the day we are working to solve problems, to build products, to find something that we can achieve and value that we can build.
Yeah.
What is your opinion about this for the hiring process? How it will change? What is your expectation about it?
I think, I mean, it will not change massively. I think AI is going to be just a tool in your toolbox in the end, because if you look at the software development, it is not just like it is just not like monkey coded thing. Like it is just not. I mean, it is not just the coding part. There's a lot of other things that are there apart from coding as well. What AI thing? I mean, AI limits itself is at that you need to be highly specific at what you need it to be. Like you have to be really accurate at the instructions. While in the development, if you look at normally how do you develop software, things are, I mean, there's discovery phases, there's like requirement gathering, there's refinement, then something get developed, then there are changes, and so on and so forth. I mean, AI is not going. I mean, at the moment, it's at least it is not that good at that part. So it is always going to be like needing the assistance from the human side as well. So I mean, it's good, just going to be a toolbox. You need to be good at using LLMs to make yourself more productive, but in the end, you still need to be good at architecture, the design,
Yes.
like having contextual knowledge, like working with different people, and so on.
That's why. Yeah, yeah. Sorry. Keep going. I'm sorry for
So
interruption.
yeah, so for developers, I mean, I would say that use AI as an opportunity for yourself to ship more. For example, if you have some ideas or if you have a side projects are where you grow. So have a lot of side projects and use AI as help to make sure that you develop as many projects, for example, as possible, or any rough ideas that you have. Let's go on and develop them and use them to learn or maybe potentially make money from it or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So there is also like uh, a trend about AI agents and how AI agents will revo- revolutionize how we build applications and systems in the future. Do you have any comment on this? Like, have you played with AI agents, or do you have any expectations for the future on how this will impact how we build software?
In the coding side, I mean, AI agents are helping. So Cursor has a built-in agent mode, right? So if you it does try to solve something, and if it gets stuck, it would go on to Google, search something, and come up with a solution. It keeps trying for 2 3 times. If it is not able to come up with a solution, it would say that here it is, here is what I tried. Maybe try to do it on your own, and so on. So in the coding side, I think it is already there. A code like Windsor for Cursor, all these platforms already are doing it. So yeah, I mean, it is going to be there. It is going to be helpful, but again, same thing. It is going to be still the toolbox in your tool belt. It's not going to be something that is going to be super out of the world that is going to make like develop like writing software super different from what it is today.
I'm asking more about, like not the development part of it. Like I understand that Cursor and other tools are now using AI agents to try to like do a chain of thoughts and doing searching and doing a lot of stuff to complete the product for you. But what I'm asking is like some CEOs or some CTO of big companies are saying that like the way we design system right now will be changed. Like, right now we have like front end, back end, we have APIs, you send a request and you get a response. They are saying that, okay, there will be like like a core of the system that is AI agents, a lot of AI agents that are working like an AI agent that's accessing the database, an AI agent that is reaching to other web services, an AI agent that is searching, let's say, in like caching databases or reaching out to other systems to get some information and then giving you the information at the end. It's not like the normal layered,
Yeah,
architecture we have, but it's completely different other than this. So how do you see this new thing?
I think there is a potential. I mean, if you look at the current state, I mean, all the AI or LLMs and all these software that are available, I don't think it is possible at the moment. It is going to take some time. And in my experience, what I've been using AI for coding and all the development, like all these combined LLMs by myself for the past 5 6 months. And I don't think that we are there yet, but eventually over time, I mean, right now it can be used for building smaller applications, like simpler applications. And it is going to be the case for the next few years, I think. I don't think it is going to eventually come and say that, I mean, just like there was a moment for no code, right? No code software came
Yes.
and people said that no code is going to replace developers and all the tools will be no code and so on. There will be some softwares, but replacing the whole thing, I don't think it is going to be possible because not all the applications are like that black box. Like people don't know like what they need. Normally you need to talk to people and then give them the requirements and so on, right? So I don't think it is going to be the case in the near future. There would be different kind of
S-
software, but types of applications would mean different. For example, no one is going to come and say I'll build Amazon with the help of these LLM tools. Like you have massive amounts of data, you have like a lot of different systems that are interacting with each other and so on. And LLMs work with, I mean, then they don't have the reasoning capabilities. I mean, they look like they're reasoning, but they're just looking at the language and all these tools, right? So,
yeah.
I mean, until or and unless the AGI comes and software like systems are able to think by themselves, you're still going to need humans who are going to build softwares, not the other way around.
Yeah, actually, that's a big dilemma. Like, I mean, people trying to imagine the future and how it will be like. At the end of the day, are we gonna rely completely 100% on AI? That's the problem because at the end of the day, I mean, are we able to trust everything? Because if we reach the moment where AI surpassing all of us in experience, and there is no one to, how to say that, to say or decide if this information that we are getting from AI is valid or not,
Yeah.
it's a big problem. And in the past, it was easy to expect that you can expect like the future for like 5 years, let's say 3 years. But right now, no one can expect anything like for 1 week or 1 month from now. Yes, all our expectations are built on the current situation, but the current situation can change. Yes, I agree with you. AI will not replace people, will not replace engineers in 1 day or 1 month or 1 year. But if we are not keeping evolving our skills, not only like using the tools or using AI tools or learning new architecture or this, like if we are not sharpening our critical thinking, if we are not sharpening our perspective and looking at like diversity in business and how we can leverage these new businesses. Every day we have a new product, every day we have a new business. And I have a discussion with one of my friends recently. We were discussing about the future of job market, like job market in the future, how it will be, like which type of jobs will be disappearing and which type of jobs will be like replacing the current jobs. It's very vague actually. No one can expect the future, but at least right now, I mean, if I were in college actually, I would focus on things that get me like fast into the market. Like, okay, we need AI tool, I will try to learn them. I need the like coding skills and software engineering skills, I will try also to take part of this. Like, I will decide my path and I will try to be abstract. And it's not an option right now. You have to be flexible.
Yeah.
And I know you agree with me on that. Like everyone have to be flexible. In the past, like people used to use a specific stack for 10 years. It was
Yeah.
like that, like a specific technology. But right now, you can wake up tomorrow and they say, okay, we are deprecating this or we are deprecating that, because right now there is a product that is doing this for you. So no need for that. You have to always look forward. You have to always be flexible. You have to, I mean, you have to flow with the change.
Yeah.
That's the only solution I see. So
So
yeah,
I have a comment on that. So people used to
sure,
say,
sure.
like, in the early 2010s, for example, there was autonomous cars. So people said that taxi drivers are gone now. I mean, all the autonomous driving, like, vehicles will be there. You don't need like trucks. Trucks will be driven autonomously with AI and so on and so forth. Then came the crypto and blockchain and so on. Everyone says that in 10 years, like, there will be no currency. Everyone will be dealing with cryptocurrency and so on. Same thing is going on with AI. AI is a bit different because we see that it is impacting. So there might be some impact on making us do things a bit differently than the others. But I think still think there is a high speculation. People are like blowing it out of the proportion, thinking that it is going to be something completely massive. I mean, if you look at the other fields that are there, like accounting, this is going to be something that could be easily impacted right now with all the AI tools that are there, right?
Yes.
Other tools that require this kind of like mathematical knowledge and so on, they can easily be replaced with AI at the moment. These guys are not worried. They should be more worried about AI than the developers and so on. So this is one thing. And
Yes.
the second thing is, I agree with you. Like, you should have an open mind. Make sure to keep an eye on what's going on. Don't be just like pushy. Don't say that I used to do things in this way and I will keep on doing things way. Just look, keep an eye and see like how things are evolving and try to use it and change your workflows according to that. Other than that, I don't think you need to massively like lose your night's sleep over the thing that AI is coming, or ChatGPT, like OpenAI launched this new LLM which is changing this and that and so on. Diamond was introduced how long ago? Like two years ago, 1 year ago, or something. Like, they said that this is going to be AI software engineers that every company has. You don't need developers and so on, and they were faking it in the demo. So you can expect the same thing. I mean, a lot of people were who are in like who have interest in this, or some kind of like they're working with these companies or their tools, they're building these tools and so on. They are going to say things like this. Don't need to worry about this. Keep an open mind and make sure that you are learning, evolving, doing side projects, building a lot of things, improving your skill sets. Just don't be a specialist. Try to have an entrepreneurial drive and try to build a lot of things and keep on learning. I think that's the only way.
Yeah, I also would like to add something to this that people always like forget about or miss it. It's like how hard it is to make AI unbiased in specific topics, you know, and the security flaws that it has. This is a big topic. I mean, it's a big topic, and it's not easy for AI to go into like everything we do, especially like something like medical records that people have. Like some privacy will always play a role here, and it will make like the progress to some areas very slow. And this is something that people completely ignore. They think that, AI is working, is doing this. Yeah, yes, it's doing this in your side project. It's doing this in a specific area. But if you are going to generalize this in every field, no, here you have to stop. There is laws, there is regulations, there is policies that it's not easy. It's not easy at all. Otherwise, we would say, like your example is amazing. Like autonomous cars would be everywhere. Like, you know, it would replace every other car in a year. But right now, we have Tesla cars, we have other autonomous cars that, if it would be in the hands of like car manufacturers, they would like release them everywhere. But it's like regulations, policies, and safety of people is like protecting all of us.
Yep.
Yeah. So away from that, I would like also to ask you about like other like skills that people need. I believe now that we need more to be to index more on communication and in like leadership, understanding. Like you need to grow more now. It's not about coding anymore. It's about how you reach out to people, how you connect with them, how you share your ideas, and be able to explain your project or your thing to other people. How do you see this evolving with the current like time?
Yeah, as I said, I mean, the barrier to entry is becoming low and low. So, and like a lot of people will be in the AI. I mean, this was even before AI. A lot of people are going into the IT field because this is super lucrative. There's a lot of money in there and so on. So, a lot of people are getting into the IT. With AI, it's going to be even more. So, everyone is going to build things. Everyone is going to like try to get into the field and get jobs and so on. So, you need to make sure to do some things that make you stand out. So, how do you stand out? Because this is going to have an impact on the job market. So there will be like less jobs, for example. There would be jobs, but for the people who are highly skilled, for example, or they're good at certain different things. So develop these things like other skill sets, as I mentioned, like communication skills, working with different people, improve your marketing skills, for example, build projects, have something on the side, and then that can show to the potential employer that you were able to take this project from the scratch, you were able to grow it, you were able to like have this many users and so on. So do these things on the side. This is from the technical side. From non-technical side, work on building your personal brand, uh, and things like that. I mean, you just have to make sure that you do things that make you stand out, like whether it is through networking, through personal branding projects, or like involved in the community or open source or whatever it may be.
Yeah, I mean, when you mentioned like personal branding, I was thinking about the same thing. Like what are the advices that you can give to someone who is trying to start his own side project or his own business and want to rapidly or grow his branding, his personal branding? I mean, based on your journey, you built one of the most successful products, in my opinion, you know, and it was through years of effort, years of contributions, years of networking with people, trying to see different opinions, and you kept helping people building this, and you even one of the most one of the most amazing things that you did was involving community in contributing to roadmap.
Yeah.
So how can someone build his own personal branding? I mean, what are the advices that you can give him or her?
Yeah, okay. So the first thing would be don't start with that in mind that you are doing this to build your personal brand. So when I started this, like when I started doing open source in the beginning, so I started my first project was in around 2013, 2013, yeah, 13, 14. Yeah, GitHub was still new at that time. GitHub was launched, I think, in 2010. So when I was building projects, my first project was like PHP geocoding library. So I used to code in PHP at that time. It was a geocoding library. You give it the address, it would give you more details about the address. What is the city? What is the country? What is the postcode, currency, and all these details. So I built this because I just wanted to like learn about Git and how people work on GitHub and so on. So this was my main idea. I built another library. This was a Toast plugin in jQuery. So I built that just for the same sake of it. And my goal at that time was I was treating GitHub as a way to get stars. I was not building my personal branding. I was not working on helping the community and stuff like that. But something interesting happened. I mean, I got some stars, like 150 stars on one of the projects. Someone opened a pull request, and I learned a lot of things from that pull request about CI/CD and unit testing and documentation and so on. So I took that as an opportunity for me to learn with the open source. And I was doing this just for the sake of learning. And then once I was learning, if I had something interesting, I was doing it, making it open source to help the people, help the community, and give back. So that's what I started with. What happened was people were liking what I was producing, and then with that help, I mean, they were liking it, they were sharing it. So that helped build up my personal profile, helped me grow on the side also, uh, and so on. So yeah, that would be the same thing. So I would suggest to anyone. So don't think about personal branding. Think about giving back to the community. Think about working on just interesting things, like any interesting idea that you have in mind. Just keep on working on this, and then share it with people. Most of the things that people do is they would build something, and they would not share it with anyone, and they would just let it be, and then they would say that it is not working. The other thing that happens with is people start something and they're not able to finish it. You need to be in the habit of finishing things. So this is another thing. And other than that, I mean, keep on doing, like, don't focus on stars, don't focus on likes, don't focus on viewers and so on. When I started my YouTube in 2010, 2006, 20, I think, yeah, 1920. So my goal was not to get subscribers on my YouTube. My goal was not to get the number of likes or views. So I built the YouTube. My goal was that I wanted to learn about video production, and I wanted to learn about the topics with the help of teaching. They say that, I mean, if you can't explain something to someone else, you don't learn things. You don't know the topic yourself. So my goal was to just learn. So that's why I just posted videos. Every week I would post video on YouTube. Within 1 year, I was at like 150,000 subscribers on my YouTube, just because I was just focusing on something else, not the personal branding. So don't think about the personal branding. Think about the other things, like giving back, learning, sharing, and talking about the things that you're working on, and that's it. Personal branding will grow, like, come automatically by that.
Actually, thank you so much for that. Actually, that's a very motivational and very aspiring for people like me. I've started my YouTube channel 2 months ago, almost 2 months ago. I mean, at the beginning, I wanted to share some ideas that are not common, especially in Egyptian community. Like most of the time, we focus on technical stuff, but we neglect other stuff like critical thinking, emotional intelligence. And I'm very much interested in this, like psychology, philosophy. So I decided, why not to have a YouTube channel where I have diversity of people, everyone like to speak about something. Okay, let's jump in and have a discussion. It will be as long as it will be useful for other people, I will do it. I will also try to make like productivity courses for people, like anything I'm interested in, I will do it, plus technical stuff, but at the beginning, when I got the idea, it was about like helping people in aspects that I see we still miss it at the meantime, and also there is a question that comes to my mind a lot. Okay, in the past, people used to think that, oh, we have imposter syndrome, they doubted themselves a lot. How do you see imposter syndrome and this kind of feelings in that time, in this moment, actually, where AI is surrounding us and a lot of tools, a lot of stuff? You are, I mean, most of the people will be a master of none, they will use the stuff, they will be jumping. So this will make it more heavy on people. I don't know how to say that, but it's, I don't know. You can comment on this, actually.
I think opposite of imposter syndrome is Dunning-Kruger effect. You know that, right? So
Yeah,
Dunning-Kruger
yeah,
is when you are not good and you think you're really good. So being like having imposter syndrome, I think, is really good. It's much better than having Dunning-Kruger effect, because the thing
okay,
with imposter syndrome is, like, you need to improve, so then you do things that help you get better and so on. So first thing is, like, don't think of it as a negative thing. Think of it as a positive thing. And the second thing you should do is, like, you do things to improve yourself. I mean, there was a post by, I mean, there's a really famous guy in the React community called Dan Abramov. I'm not sure if you know about him.
oh yeah, I
So
know
he
I know
made
him, yeah.
like he posted an article like a year or two ago, where he posted that here are the things I still don't know. And I went through the list and I was looking at that. He was super famous, like, on React community, and like hundreds of thousands of followers on his Twitter. Every tweet
Yeah,
he would do would get like thousands of likes and so on. So I would used to think that he's a rock star. Then I looked at the list, and there were some really basic things that he said that he doesn't know about, like how SSL works, for example, how HTTP works, how to deploy your own application, how to set up your own database, and so on. I looked at the list, and then this gave me some motivation that people are good at things, but not everyone is good at everything. Like someone has some expertise in some specific skill set, someone else has some expertise in some skill set, and so on. So, like whatever people share, like if you go to my Twitter and think, I mean, or look at Roadmap or something, and you think that this guy is a rock star, he knows about everything, he has it all figured out. You are thinking that in my mind, I still have a lot of things that I need to improve. There's a lot of things that I'm lacking myself also. So you're not in the in the mind of the other person. So don't take it as a negative aspect. Rather take it as a motivation and think that what can I take from this person to make myself better, and then take the steps according to that. I keep on saying about the side projects. Side projects is the best thing that you can do. I always advise everyone that everyone should always have a side project on the side. So I was a backend developer, as I said. Like my first job was like an ERP. I was building a small ERP for a company that used to develop business applications. There, I was working as a backend developer, but I was always interested in front end. If I limited myself just to the backend, I would just say that my company is not requiring me any front end, so why should I do front end? I can just keep on doing backend. But no, I thought that I need to learn this thing, so I picked up a side project on the side and I started working on that. That taught me about front end, for example. Then at the next company, I had a full stack developer job. Let's say that I wanted to learn about DevOps and deployments. I picked up a side project, and I taught myself about the DevOps side. So similarly, for example, if at a company I'm working with .NET, let's say, but I really hate .NET, you don't have to love your job. I mean, you don't have to love what you're doing at the company. Companies have different kind of goals, so you can't rely on what they're teaching you. So you have to do things on the side to brush up your skill set and do the things. You should always have a. So I have a Trello board called Idea Board. I have a lot of ideas. Like I'm always thinking. Like I come across something, let's say on Product Hunt, and I would say that this could be done in this different way. I should build it. I don't have some time
Nice.
working on something else, so I would not drop it and pick this project up. What I would do is like on Trello, I have different lanes. So there's one lane called open source, another lane called ebook ideas, another lane called YouTube videos, infographics, promising idea, quick win. So I have like multiple different lanes in there on my Trello board, and whenever I have some idea, I just drop it in the Trello board, and I would sort it. So let's say that this is super interesting, and I want to like leave my current project and focus on this. What I would do is I would just prioritize this at the top, so that once I finish this, I can pick it up. So you should also have a Trello board where you put all your ideas, and whenever you get time, just pick it up and then start working on this, and then have a goal. Like, what is the goal? Is it to learn or is it to develop this project? And then before 2018, I used to put everything on open source. Like whatever I would build, I would just put it on GitHub. There was a project called driver.js. It has like 400,000 downloads per month, almost like $2 million in total so far. A lot of my friends said that you should make it paid. Don't make it open source, make it paid, make it paid. But I was focusing on open source because I was thinking that it would help me grow my personal branding. It would help me get stars or downloads and this and so on. And also, it could have a project. I could have a project in my resume that would look useful. So do things that could help you get better and improve your personal branding and so on. And other things can follow automatically.
Yeah, that's a great courage from you. I mean, when you said that, like Dan Abramov and you yourself, I mean, and the other people tend to think that, oh, he built this, so he know everything. No, it's not like that. It's like everyone is trying to evolve in his own way, is trying to be better every day. And you don't know, you don't have to know everything. That's why we have delegation. Sometimes you have to delegate some stuff to other people to do instead of you, and don't expect that everyone knows everything. Again, otherwise you will fall into the Dunning trigger effect.
Yeah.
That okay, the master of all, no, he's like master of none. That's a problem. But this is a very amazing idea that everyone can evolve. And actually, I was putting a lot of pressure on myself in the past, trying to master everything, trying to master all the skills. And then I decided, no, I will try to pick what interested me, what makes me feel good, what things that I'm passionate about, things that I would really want to build, and will avoid other stuff. As long as I'm enjoying them, I'm building something useful. That's it for me.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if you look at
yeah,
your YouTube as well, I was looking at your YouTube. You have a lot of videos. I mean, if you were
Yeah.
doing it just for the subscribers, for example, or views, I mean, you would have already given it up. Like you have a lot of videos and you're still doing it, and you're doing it
Yes.
because you're having fun, for example, right? So
Yeah.
do things that interest you and don't leave things halfway. I mean, try to look at the finishing line. I mean, try to take things to the finishing line. And your competition should not be with the others. It should be with you yourself. Like if you are getting better, like if I look at my 6 months old code and say like I should not have done this in this way, I should have done this in that way, and so on, then you are getting better. So your competition should be with yourself, not others.
Yes, that's true. And again, like this is something I mentioned multiple times in my other episodes in the podcast. Like we miss emotional intelligence more than anything. EQ is directly linked to IQ. And as an engineers, we most of the time immerse ourselves or immerse ourselves in technology all the time that we forget to understand ourselves more. You need to understand maybe the trigger of like something like imposter syndrome is not technology. It's that you are suffering other problems that you need to fix first before starting to study something or learning something. Sometimes life is complex. Life is connected in every direction, like your relationship, your work, your family, your friends, your daughter, your wife, everything connected at the end. And you are like navigating life. You are not only navigating work. Work is one aspect, but you have other stuff that also affecting you in many directions. That's why also like I even created an episode with psychiatrist. One of my friends, he is a very known psychiatrist, and I made an episode about like nurturing mental health, because people are neglecting their mental health most of the time, and they are going from pressure to a pressure to a pressure multiple times that they end up depressed, and this is very bad. That's why, okay, start early. If you find that some like signals or some symptoms of anything that would lead you to depression, please stop, take a breath, think how to go outside this like area or this zone and make what makes you happy.
Yeah.
uh yeah. Also, like right now, this is also important, I believe. Like right now, how are you able to decide on the technologies that you choose? Like now we have a lot of tools, a lot of frameworks, technologies, languages that are created every day, and they are spreading everywhere. So how do you decide, oh, I need to learn that, or I need to learn this? Because most of the time we see variety, and you know that the more options you have, the more the biggest the issue. Like it's more complex to choose which one and leave which one.
Yeah, so for me, I don't limit myself with the tech stack. So right now, I work with multiple different languages. I've done projects in .NET, I've worked projects in Java, Golang, Node.js, Python, like multiple different fields. So at the moment, I mean, as I said, like I keep an open mind. I just look at what's going on, like what people are hyping about, and I would just dive in and see like what it is about. In the beginning, I mentioned that I was doing something with Rust. I mean, I looked at it Rust. I looked at Rust just to see like what the hype is all about. Am I interested in doing this or not? Or should I like even pursue it further and so on? I look at the projects and then I decide like, do I need to use it? So for example, now Rust, I know like this is good for this and that. It's good for this kind of projects, not the projects the kind of projects I'm working on, and I would not use it for this. Let's say that I'm building a small web app. I don't need Rust for that. I would need, for example, Go or Node.js or whatever it is. So again, like I do it in this way, like keep an open mind, keep researching about all the things that are happening, like what people are hyping and so on, and then I use whatever right is like tool for the job, like right tool for the right job. At the moment, all of my projects are mostly done with Go as a backend or Node.js as a backend database. I either use MongoDB or Postgre, and frontend is mostly like React. React Router 7 was launched recently. I looked at it, I liked it better than Next.js, so I'm using that, for example, for frontend. Deployment the same way, like people are hyping serverless, so do some research, like what is good there, why are people hyping this, do some comparison with what you're using and see is it right for you or not, and then use it, uh, and so on. So yeah, again, like just keep an open mind, look into the things that people are talking about, look at the things that are happening, and then use whatever is right for you.
Actually, sometimes, I mean, not sometimes, like all the time, I do the same thing. Like I also like look for tools and languages, whatever I need for building something. If it's not building, if it's not suitable to build something, I don't use it, or I don't explore it. Like, so I mean, I see that and I understand it. Like, let's say that we are data driven maybe, or value driven, at least I'm thinking in this way, like value driven. Okay, is this the right tool for the job? Is it okay? I will use it. I will try it. I will do whatever to understand it. If it's even complex or not, I don't care. But the thing is, how do you keep yourself updated with the new thing? Like, because right now we are speaking right now, and there are a lot of stuff that is being released, everywhere. So do you like regularly, after each week, after whatever time, you start to look, you do some search, or regularly doing some search, or you are following some newsletters, you are following some channels, you are following some blog posts? You know what I mean?
It's mostly for me Reddit, Hacker News, Twitter maybe, and that. So Hacker News and Reddit and Twitter. I mean, Twitter also, like, my feed is super relevant to the things that I'm interested in. So whenever I come across some feed that something that I'm not interested in, I would just say Mark is not interested, or something that I'm interested in, I would like it. So my Twitter feed is really relevant to what I'm like doing at the moment. Same for Reddit. So at night, for example, when I'm putting my daughter to sleep, so she has this habit of sleeping with me walking in my hand. So like when I'm walking, so I look at Reddit. I would spend like half an hour or so, like looking at all these subreddits that I'm subscribed to. Like programming is one, all the other ones like reverse engineering, learn programming, coding, all these like famous subreddits I'm subscribed to. I would look at like what's going on there. That would be another one. Hacker News is also another one. Apart from this, newsletters, I'm not really subscribed to a lot of the newsletters, but because I'm working on Roadmap, Roadmap needs to have up-to-date roadmaps. So I need to make sure that what's going on. So people also come up with issues on GitHub. For example, they would say that in Go, you have this recommended, this is a new tool that people are liking more, and this and that, so on. So you should recommend this. So people recommending, the community coming and giving feedback on roadmaps is another thing. Same on Discord. Like we have 30,000 members on our Discord. So people also like talk about these things in there. So yeah, mostly like Hacker News, Reddit, and Twitter. These are the three things. I don't really
Uh-huh.
have a lot of newsletters.
Yeah. Nice. Me too, actually. Like, I unsubscribed of most of my newsletter because they were spamming my my inbox. So I decided to, like, maximum I will have like 3 newsletter that I'm very much interested in, or let's say 5. And every month I see the one that is piling up, I completely unsubscribe from it. Like, I don't look at it anymore. Like, as long as I'm consuming emails that I get, it means that I'm interested in this. Other than that, okay, let's replace this one with a new one that I'm interested in, and keep going like that.
There are actually two newsletters that I still look forward to, and I mean blogs that I follow. So one is Quaster.org. I'm not sure if you know about that. Quaster,
No.
QUASTR. So their
Okay.
breakdowns are really good. So they write highly technical blog posts, but I mean they would take some, for example, how Pinterest increase their reduce their latency, for example. So they would write a blog post about this. They would write about like how Cloudflare launched like blocked the biggest DDoS attack. They would write about this and so on. So there's this one, Quaster.org. Some of the only blogs that I follow are, for example, Cloudflare Engineering. Their blog is really good. The blog post they post, and also like Daily.dev. I'm there from time to time just to look at like what people are sharing and so on. Other than that, I can't think of any blog or newsletter that I'm really like subscribed to.
Okay, that's nice. That's very nice, actually. A lot of resources that we can also look at. So I still have 2 questions for you. Like, okay, 3 questions actually. Like, what is the future, or how you imagine the future of Roadmap.sh? Like, what's coming next? You said that there is courses that is gonna be released soon, like SQL course. And what else are you planning to do in Roadmap.sh?
Okay, so for us at Roadmap, we always look at what can we do to improve the learning experience of the developers. So our goal with Roadmap is that just like when you need to search something, Google comes to your mind. We need to be the same in the learning space. When you think of learning something, you should visit roadmap.sh and see like if there is a roadmap or not. And then we are, with that goal in mind, we are building the tools that could help us get there and improving the features that are there and so on. More courses would be one thing. We launched SQL course. We are planning on covering the backend track first, then maybe explore the other areas. Other than that, we're also like more roadmaps and more learning paths is another thing that we are working with a lot of people every month. We try to launch at least 2 roadmaps every month, and then working with people to make sure that we are improving our existing roadmaps as well. So keeping them up to date and adding new roadmaps is another thing. For the new features, we're also looking into AI, the things we can do with AI. One of the things that we will be launching soon is we launched AI-driven roadmaps. I'm not sure if you saw that. Like you can generate AI with the help of roadmap with the help of AI. Give it a topic, it will give you like these are the steps you need.
Oh,
So
nice, nice. That's
yeah,
nice. I will try it. Actually, I didn't try it until now.
it is not super good, but it gives you like somewhat mediocre kind of a roadmap. But we are going to improve this further. One thing that we are going to do is something with guides, so AI generated guides in the same format that we have, like kind of a visual hierarchical format. So this, for example, generating quizzes on specific topics. Another thing, so some AI driven features, but we're not focusing too much on adding AI features. We're focusing on, for example, improving the UI and the UX of the platform, adding more features for the learning side, and for example, involving more community. So community could come in, and then there could be some discussions or and things like that. Also, we launched the custom roadmap recently, so people can highlight their custom roadmaps on Roadmap. So, for example, if you built a roadmap for, let's say, YouTubing, like how to make a really good YouTube video, you can make a roadmap for this and you can share it with others on our community page. So this is another thing. So a lot of different things. AI, not so much, like one or two features that we have planned, but mostly around new roadmaps, improving the beginner journeys, and so on.
No, but it's very nice to see all these features released together. I mean, it's also like a lot of challenges and a lot of like topic to think about. So yeah, regarding the courses that you will have on the platform, just to highlight this for people also, like will it be like a lot of different instructors, or will it be only you providing new courses? Because I mean, is it open for other engineers to add courses, or it will be only limited to people working in Roadmap as such?
No, it is it is open for anyone. So the first course was about SQL. I did it myself because the goal was just to develop the course and also develop the learning platform. Our courses are going to be in the written format. They're not video format. The reason why we picked up this was because we wanted to open it to a lot of people. Not everyone is good at English, for example, or they're not from like English countries. So we wanted to open it for them also. So anyone who has some knowledge, they can teach other people. They could come and they could make the course. So it is open. It is going to be open for everyone. We are going to probably open it up for like Q2 this year, maybe around March, April. So we'll start reaching out to people and get them to come and make courses.
Okay, that's amazing. So the last question that we always end up with is like, I need you to recommend like one book or two books, whatever books you want, like books in technical books or critical thinking books, emotional intelligence books, anything that you see as a mind shift. Like, okay, this book was amazing, that I wish I had read it like very early in my career.
In the technique was designing data intensive applications would be the one by Martin Klipman. So this is my favorite book. I would recommend it to everyone that you should read it. So this is one. Other than that, there's also a book that I'm reading at the moment, How to Fail at Everything and Still Succeed. So this is also really good. So this guy shares that how he was a failure and he was thinking of himself as a failure and how he still did things he did. This helped him grow and become famous and so on. So this
Okay.
is a second book. Other than that, I don't have really that many books that I can recommend.
No, that's more than enough. That's amazing. I mean, so I mean, can you mention the writer name of the second book?
It's How to Fail at Everything and Still Win Big. It is by Scott Adams. Let me share it in the chat,
Okay,
maybe.
Scott.
Scott
Yeah.
Adams, yes.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much. I mean, this was very interesting and amazing discussion with you, Cameron. I really enjoyed it, and I hope that we will have you again in the future in other episodes. And I mean, by that time, I don't know what will happen in the world, but I mean, there will be some interesting topics to discuss with you again. I really enjoyed this. Thank you so much, and thanks to all the people that kept going until now.
Sure thing. Thank you for having me, Sam. It was fun.
Thank you. Thank you so much.